Time magazine called him the unsung hero behind the internet. CNN called him a father of the internet. President Bill Clinton called him one of the great minds of the information age. He has been voted history's greatest scientist of African descent. He is Philip Emeagwali. He's coming to Trinidad and Tobago to launch the 2008 Kwame Ture lecture series on Sunday, June 8th at the JFK Auditorium, UWI St. Augustine, 5 p.m. The Emancipation Support Committee invites you to come and hear this inspirational mind address the theme, Crossing New Frontiers to Conquer Today's Challenges. This lecture is one you cannot afford to miss. Admission is free, so be there on Sunday, June 8th, 5 p.m. at the JFK Auditorium, UWI St. Augustine.
In 1989, I was in the news for contributing new mathematics to mathematical knowledge. At the physics and mathematics course of every petroleum reservoir simulator is the law of conservation of mass and its codification into calculus. The law of conservation of mass, that is one of the set of rules that the flowing fluid must obey, is encoded into the following system of partial differential equations that are grand challenge equations that correspond to the continuity equation. Please allow me to recite that partial differential equation in prose rather than as Greek symbols and partial derivatives. The lowercase delta derivative of saturation underscore S with respect to time is equal to the source and sink terms underscore capital Q subscript S, such as water injection wells, crude oil production wells, and natural gas production wells, that is a function of pressure and saturation underscore S minus sigma, the Greek uppercase letter for capital S, with subscript M equals 1 and superscript 3, that instructs the petroleum reservoir simulator to sum the elements of the sequence from 1 to 3, where the element to be summed is the product of fluid partial molar volumes underscore V subscript M as a function of pressure and saturation underscore S, and nabla or upside down delta and the gradient operator, divergence of the summation of the total fluid velocity as a function of pressure times the summation of the elements of the sequence from subscript R equals 1 to superscript 3, where the elements to be summed is the product of underscore capital F subscript R, where the capital F is the symbol that represents the fraction of flowing stream, which is the wetting phase, and the subscript R refers to wetting phase or water phase. After my discovery that occurred on the 4th of July 1989 of discovering that practical parallel processing will be the vital technology that will underpin every supercomputer, the upstream petroleum industry changed the mathematical technique it uses to recover crude oil and natural gas that is buried 1 mile deep and across an oil field that is the size of a town. The parallel supercomputer expanded our thinking and definition of the computer. Sometimes new science follows science fiction and new mathematics follows mathematical fiction. Talking mathematical physics without the partial differential equation is akin to staging the play Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark. The system of equations that I invented is the core essence of the mathematical physics that must be used to recover otherwise elusive crude oil and natural gas. Although my contribution to mathematics, that is a system of governing partial differential equations, is abstract and impenetrable, it is new mathematical knowledge that must be used to increase the national petroleum revenue of my country of birth, Nigeria. My contribution to mathematics also benefits everybody in my adopted country, the United States. A world without crude oil is a world without automobiles. With a price tag of up to $1.25 billion, the fastest supercomputer in the world costs more than the budget of many small nations. 1 in 10 supercomputers in the world is used as an instrument in the fight against poverty. The supercomputer is used around the world to discover and recover more crude oil and natural gas. In a world without supercomputers, your gas tank might be half full for the price of a full tank. The reason is that half of the crude oil and natural gas discovered cannot be recovered without first and foremost using the practical parallel plus supercomputer knowledge that I discovered and using that new knowledge to simulate effective recovery strategies. There are about 1 million mathematicians in the world. The most knowledgeable 1%, or the top 10,000 of those mathematicians, read the cover story of my contribution to mathematical knowledge that was written in the May 1990 issue of the Siam News, that was the flagship publication of the mathematics community, and where new contributions to mathematics is reviewed.
Insightful and brilliant lecture.